Joining us online is Kevin Faulconer, the 36th mayor of San Diego. He is running for governor of California in the new recall effort. Kevin Faulconer, thanks so much for joining the show. Really appreciate it.
Ben, great to be back with you. Thank you very much.
So let's talk about how the campaign is going. Obviously, the media have been basically ignoring your candidacy on behalf of the stunt candidacy, I would say, of Caitlyn Jenner. It's pretty obvious why the media are doing all of this, but it does seem that they are focused mainly on attempting to downplay the recall itself by focusing in on candidates who are, frankly, I think patently unserious.
Well, I'll tell you, Ben, I think we're always going to have to deal with that type of bias. But I think the facts, as we've talked about before, the Californians are angry. They're frustrated. Over 2 million signed that recall. And I think particularly when we look at the last month of this campaign, the fact that we have really started getting a lot of attention because of things like the largest middle-class tax cut that we're proposing, the fact that what we're doing on homelessness, I think people are really paying attention because we are a serious campaign with serious plans, and I think people are taking notice.
So, Mayor Faulconer, what exactly is the status of the recall effort itself? So there's basically a two-step process in California. First, there has to be a vote to actually recall Newsom. This is on the same day. And then there is a vote for who replaces Newsom. So the polls seem to be sort of split as to whether the recall effort even gets past step one. Do you think the Californians are actually going to vote to recall Newsom at this point?
I do, Ben. I do because as I said, that anger and frustration is not going away out here in California. And by the way, those 2 million signatures, those were Republicans, Democrats, independents. Those were small business owners, Ben, who were tired of being open and shut 5 and 6 different times during the pandemic. It's parents who are very angry. The fact that our California public schools still are not fully reopened. And so you add to that the growing homeless issue that is just rampant in California, the fact that we were actually able to reduce it in San Diego. This recall is going to be a referendum on Gavin Newsom's failures, and Californians are ready to go vote.
So, Mayor Faulconer, let's talk about the homelessness and crime problems in California. In the past, Republican candidates for governor, going back years really, have focused in on things like education funding. I've said for years that the biggest issue in California that nobody will talk about is the crime issue, is the quality of life issues, homelessness, which has now moved from sort of the parts of the city that you might expect homelessness, the Skid Rows, out into the suburbs in places like Los Angeles. What's your plan for dealing with crime and homelessness?
Well, first of all, admitting there is a problem, Ben. And look, I think you hit the nail on the head. And the facts, back that up. Violent crime is rising in the great state of California. And what you do is you stand up to it. You do not defund the police. I actually increased the budget last year as mayor of San Diego. And yes, Ben, I had hundreds of protesters out in front of my house yelling every name at the book at me and my family and the defund the police. I increased that budget. Why? Because I know as mayor and I know as governor, if you don't have a safe state, you don't have anything. And if we want to have the best men and women who wear that badge to protect us, we better darn well give them the training, the support, and the resources necessary to be successful.
Now, as Mayor Faulconer, one of the other things that you've talked about here is your tax plan. So obviously, California is an incredibly high tax state. It's one of the reasons why I picked up my family and I left, frankly. We were paying very high taxes, even when we were earning a lower salary. Now that I earn more money, I was paying extraordinary taxes in the state of California. It's just not a competitive tax state. You're attempting to alleviate that.
I am, and people are leaving, man. They're voting with their feet. California is just too expensive. And look, you name the state where people are going to: Texas, Florida, Tennessee. We can go down a big list. Utah. The fact of the matter is we have to lower that tax burden on Californians. Depending upon who you talk to, the state budget this year is $50 billion to $75 billion in surplus, Ben. We got to keep more of that money in California families' pockets and not send it to Sacramento.
Well, Kevin Faulconer, good luck on your campaign. Where can folks go to support you?
Thanks, Ben. KevinFaulconer.com. This is all about a California comeback. We're excited to turn our great state around. Thank you so much.
Well, good luck to you. And certainly I hope to see Gavin Newsom out on his tuchus sometime in the near future. Kevin Faulconer, appreciate the time.